I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
Welcome to Double Trouble. And today we're taking a look at Fantahzee. Or Fantahzee?
That's how I say it.
Fantahzee?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously this game is a play on Yahtzee. It's about rolling dice and killing monsters. That's not the only game we have that you roll dice and kill monsters. There's a lot of those, I think. But basically this is based on Yahtzee-ish, kind of, sort of. You'll see. In this game, players are trying to get points by defeating monsters. Each monster defeated is going to give a certain number of points, since you want to get rid of as many as you can. The monsters are in face-down stacks, where there are level 1 monsters on top. They're the white monsters. And as you go down farther in the stack, you get to the level 2. And at the bottom of every stack is a boss monster. Each monster has a power at the top, so this shows that their power is 4. Some monsters will give a treasure. Some monsters have ambush. Some monsters have counterattack. And so what a player is going to do on their turn, each player has 5 dice to start with. You will also have a hand of 5 cards from the deck. On your turn, you can play up to 2 heroes and 2 actions. So let's say, for example, I want to play this sergeant in front of me. And maybe I will play the illusionist. Now, the sergeant and illusionist each give 2 power total. I can play 2 of those. I have no action cards, but there are multiple action cards. Like, for example, maybe I had this one in my hand. Your party gets shield 2 this turn. So the first thing I'll do is I will roll my 5 dice. I get to re-roll them twice, just like Yahtzee. I can keep any number of dice I want, or I can lock dice. So for example here, this one costs a single 4, but if I put 2 dice on him, that means 2 are the same. So choose a hero. They cost X less to activate this turn. So I'm saying they don't cost anything to activate. So I can activate them. But even if, let's say I didn't have that special ability, I could roll 2 more times trying to get a 4. So then I activate my heroes. They're both activated. So I have 4 attack. So I decide that I am going to kill this Dark Assassin who costs 2. And I don't have 2 left over. That takes 2 of my 4 attack. So I decide to flip the top card here. Oh, it's another rock monster. If you do flip a card, you can't kill anything else. You have to go after the card that you flipped over. Once I kill a card, I look, does it have counterattack on it? If it does that much damage to me. But this one doesn't. Then I look at all the ambushes that are face up. So here's an ambush 1, so my team must take 1 damage. Fortunately, I played shield 2, so I take no damage. If I hadn't have done that, I would have to discard heroes that are equal to that amount of damage or lower, or higher, I'm sorry, to get rid of them. As time goes by, you can have up to 5 heroes in front of you. So let's say, for example, I have a Steam Brute, a Steam Smith, a Sergeant, and a Steamosaur in front of me. And this one here, a Conjurer. As you can see there, I have a lot more possibility of attacks here. So I get my 5 dice and I roll them. And I go, all right, let's see here. Well, the first thing, I'm going to keep this 5 so I can use it for him. And then these double 3 says choose a hero. They cost 1 die less to activate this turn. So that's this guy, and I'll use this to activate him. His activation gives me 4 steam. See, the Steamosaur and the Steam Brute, this needs 3 of a kind. This needs 3 2s, or 2 steam or 4 steam. So I have the 4 steam, so now he is activated. So now I have a 6, a 2, and a 3. And I have one of the 6s I need for the Conjurer. I'll roll again. Didn't get what I want. Roll for the 3rd time. How lucky is that? I activate him. When I activate him, move a Horde stack to any position in the Horde line. So I could take this stack and move it closer to the Horde line. Then I have, let's see, 4, 10, 12, 15. That's great. So I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill this guy to get the treasure. That's 7. And I'll kill this rock monster and the Dryad Archer. Now, because I killed these 2 with treasures, I will get to draw a treasure. And there's single treasures and double treasures. The double treasures, if you kill a monster, it shows a double treasure. And then you just add this to a hero. You have to activate that hero to get the ability. This one here gives an extra die. So does that one. This one gives you a shield. This one here gives you a shield, an extra roll, and an extra die this turn. That's because it's a double treasure. So treasures will be available. If you do not kill the monster in the vanguard, the one that's closest to the stack here, you draw the top card here. You'll do whatever it says here, and then you will also keep this for negative points at the end of the game. So if possible, you always want to kill this hero, this monster here. And these monsters, like I said, are going to get tougher as time goes by. Remember, if they have a counterattack, whenever you kill them, they'll do that much damage to you, which could cause problems here. And as you go down farther, they will get harder until the boss monster here, who you can see will take 13 to take them out. And since monsters will be killing your heroes, it will be harder to get them up. However, at the end of your turn, you will draw 4 more cards. You have a hand limit of 5, but you get to draw 4 every turn. So you'll have more actions, and there's all sorts of actions, like get an extra roll this turn. This guy here, if you roll 3 of a kind, you pick someone else, and they have 2 of a kind less to roll. This guy here gives 3 steam and a shield if you activate him. Here, this guy's 1, 2, 3, 4, gives all your other heroes +1 strength. This guy's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't even use him unless you have an extra die somehow, but he can just kill a monster that's 6 or less in my victory pile, and he gives me 8. This Forged Titan needs 3 6s and 2 of a kind, or 5 steam, which is a better way to give you that 8 strength. And there are many, many of each of the types of heroes, so it's not like there's a ton of different heroes to learn. Once a boss monster is killed, you flip a Doom token over like this. Once all the Doom tokens are done, you go until the person who has the last player token has gone. Everyone gets an equal number of turns, and then you simply add up your points and subtract any negative points you have. The player with the most points is the winner. Okay, so what do you think of the artwork and the dice and all that?
The artwork is scattered. I think that's like the right word, because like they have like the little figures for like the mages and stuff, and then they have like the other, like the swordsmen. Is that the word? Yeah, swordsmen. They look different, so I was like, okay.
It's kind of cartoony.
Yeah.
Actually, I shouldn't say it's kind of cartoony. It's very cartoony. It's okay. It's a light game. It's very generic. You know, you're fighting the same old monsters with the same old heroes. The theme doesn't do anything for me. I mean, how many games we got about heroes killing monsters?
A lot.
A lot. Okay. But this game isn't really about that. It's about rolling dice and using the heroes to get combos in this game. Do you think there's any strategy in this game?
I guess like which ones you pick first, and also which ones you pick first to do certain things to help get other cards, but it's all in luck because of the dice.
Yeah, it really is. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that the game isn't fun, but essentially, you get whatever heroes you get, right? You can choose which heroes to put down, but you're going to put down the ones that you think can do the best, and you have 5 cards in your hand, and you can put down 2 heroes. You're going to get them all out eventually. And so, yes, you can make cool combos. Hey, I put this guy out, and I get to roll, and he gives me steam, which lets me activate this, or this one gives me extra dice, and this one gives me extra dice, and this one... I mean, we played some turns where people were rolling like 10 dice. And
I did that a lot.
that's pretty cool, but I never felt at any point it was like, yeah, I thought of a combo no one else did. You just put your cards out and you do what they say.
Yeah.
And so there's some luck where you roll and then you pick dice, but you know, we found that if you have the characters that give you a lot of dice and you roll them, you didn't need to re-roll that much. Or like at the end you were re-rolling trying to get one number.
I had to. I remember I was not happy. I kept re-rolling numbers I didn't want, so.
Oh, I thought it was cool.
It was cool. But
I mean, for me,
oh.
to watch you. But, so, I enjoy it, but I never felt like, I have a hard decision to make here. No, if you roll and you get 2 6s and you have a guy that costs 2 6s, you put the 2 6s on him.
Yeah.
And some of the guys are much better than others. Now, the problem with the game is if you have a bunch of people up with ambush or counterattack and you do that and you take some damage, it can take a few turns to build yourself back up, especially when you kill most of the monsters and it's a lot of final bosses left. You can lose all your heroes and then you have like 2 that you put out, and those 2 are usually not enough to kill a boss, and you got to try to keep at least one of them alive so that you can have 3 heroes on the next turn.
Yeah.
Did you find that the boss monsters were more difficult?
Definitely, yeah. Because they were like higher numbers, so you had to like get a lot of combos to be able to get up that high. But like when they, like you said, when they killed them, it's like, okay, I need to be able to get another combo. Like, how does this card with that one? And after a while, it's kind of annoying.
And the treasures are neat, but they're not like, I don't know how to explain it. They didn't feel amazing. It's like, ooh, an extra die, yay. It felt good to get a treasure, but then if your hero dies who has that treasure, then you lose the treasure anyway, or if you can't activate that hero. The game is slightly longer than I think it should be. It felt like it should play, what does the box here say? It says 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes is really too long for this game. It should play, I think, between 20 and 30 minutes, but you can easily fix that by just taking a few monsters out of the stacks. It's light. When I'm playing the game, I feel like I'm just playing the game. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just roll dice, see what happens. I don't feel a lot of stress. I don't feel tons of excitement, but I have a good time rolling the dice. So I would give it a final rating of 6 for me. What about you?
A 5.
Really? So you're not as big of a fan of this one?
No.
So tell us things you're not a big fan of.
Luck. I'm not a big fan of luck games because it's like not much thought process into it. So I'm like, let's roll dice, put them on the random cards, and fight the monsters.
Was there anything you did like?
Doing the combos.
Yeah, I like the combos too, and I almost wish there was a way to have maybe a bigger hand of 10 cards to kind of pick the cool combos that you want. As it is, you just deal with whatever combos you get. So, Melody's not as big a fan of this one. I thought it was pleasant. I think there's a lot of people who will like it. Melody says she's not a big fan of luck, which is good. I've trained her. But there are some people who will like that, and if you do like Yahtzee, this is kind of a lateral step, and it will feel very similar to that. So that is Fantahzee. Is that right?
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Melody.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.